Quick Slants is presented by your local New England Honda dealers.
What's up, you kids? It's Quick Slants, and it's coming to you live from the Super Bowl number 57 in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll have Kay in just a minute, but emotions in motion, they certainly will after Bill Belichick finished talking about Tom Brady on Monday. Bill?
The greatest player, the greatest career, the great person. So such an opportunity and an honor for me to coach Tom, and I guess it's got in at some point. It's the greatest one ever. So, congratulations, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Tom, what did Bill do to bring out the best in you?
I think it's more, what did he not do?
The hatchet was undoubtedly buried completely back in 2021 when the Bucs and Patriots played and Bill Belichick visited with Tom Brady for 25 minutes in the visitors' locker room. What we saw Monday, though, that was more an outpouring that was open and public. It was authentic, it was warm, it was fuzzy, and it makes everyone feel really good. Do I feel good after seeing it? 100%. Does it erase the fact that in 2018, Tom Brady did a 6-part documentary enumerating the reasons he didn't feel appreciated? No, doesn't whitewash that away. Is all well that ends well? It absolutely is. But we'll get into more Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in just a few minutes on My Slant. Right now, though, it's time for the game plan. Yo, Adrian Clem coming on back, chasing Brady. Patrick Mahomes, does he have him in his sights? Does he even have him up there on the horizon? I don't know about that. The Ramondre dilemma. We have Legarrette Blount jumping in to talk about Ramondre Stevenson, and Mike Florio will be by as well. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we have the great Kay Adams from FanDuel. Come here. You're right there.
Oh, my applause. Thank
Yeah.
you. What's the pyrotechnics budget for my appearance today? Fireworks, am I expecting as a finale?
Do you have a lighter?
Yeah, something
Just
like that.
a lighter?
Hey, it's great to see you. Last time Tommy and I worked this event in this city was the old Marshawn Lynch didn't run the ball, Patriots win situation. So I'm happy to be here on Quick Slants, my roots, and of course so much to talk about. Brady still in the news.
Yeah, and to me, I think that there was so much closure there. And it, like I said, all's well that ends well, but it doesn't ignore the fact that there was a lot that led up to it, and we don't have to whitewash it because we're grown-ups.
I like the honesty. I think they're both at an age, especially Tom Brady, where he's revealing a little bit more. We'll see what happens when he's on Fox, if he's more revelatory about his time there. 2 decades, a lot of things can happen, a lot of ups and downs, and also a lot of championship rings.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now, of course, time for Quick Fire. Okay, what do we
Presented
got?
by our New England Honda dealers. I'll help you out there, buddy. I got
Thanks.
you with the quick slants,
Handsome.
with Quick Fire. Let's do it. All right, I'm going to give you this. Patrick Mahomes talking about chasing Brady.
It's going to be tough. I mean, 7 Super Bowl victories, 10 Super Bowls. There's a reason that he's so far ahead of everybody else. It's hard to do, but I'll do my best to chase it. But I got to start off with trying to win this one this week. So I just got to focus on today and then tomorrow until we get to Sunday. And let's go out there and play our best ball then.
That's Patrick Mahomes speaking from inside a trash can down here in Phoenix. Mahomes, to me, he has to do it for a decade. He has to win on Sunday. He has to get another one. And then, Kay, after he's done that, he can do it all again in the next decade. It's virtually impossible to track down Brady and match the resume.
It's true. I think he answered the question well. It's one that's going to haunt him forever, and that's just the greatness that he's in the shadow of. My favorite moment, maybe in my career, is during the pandemic, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City. I got to interview both of them at once on a Zoom for NFL Network. It was Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, and the instant respect, the camaraderie leading up to that game. They could have been divisive. They could have not want to talk. They were so complimentary to one another. I'll never forget that, and that's really all that matters. There's so much respect there.
100%. What do we got next?
Okay, we're going to talk more about Brady. Brady likes to talk lately, and he was on his Let's Go podcast with Jim Gray and company talking about how he thinks he can still play.
There's always going to be a part that wants to play and a part of me that, feels like I can play. I think there's just a decision to know that it's the right time. So I think for me, it's more of just it's going to end at some point, and I think now's the time. And it's not that I can't do it. It's not that I wouldn't want to do it. It's not that I wouldn't be excited to play. I love playing football. I've loved playing football since I was, a kid on the street on Portola Drive. So I think it's just a decision that it's time to do other things.
Time to do other things, Kay, but is it permanently time to do other things? Because he can still play. And when we talk about Tom Brady, yeah, he's 46, but what's the difference between 46 and 47? To me, I could 1,000,000%. I'm not saying it's a likelihood, but I could see Brady taking the year off, getting his life in order, and telling Fox one more time, you know what, how about I just put it off again another year, and I'll come back to you in 2026.
It might happen. The Fox thing might happen. I can't really wrap my head around it yet. Will he be in the booth? Will he be doing all of that? Time will tell, of course, but I will say retiring is not a thing anymore. And so to say I'm going to take a year off, I'm going to come back, buy a Eurorail pass, go to Florence, hit up Italy, go to Paris, do whatever you want, sell your Brady products.
Nepal? Did you do Nepal?
Nepal? Sure, go to Nepal, do whatever you want, and then come back and see where things land. I don't know if you had a good fit here. All right, I don't even know where I'm looking, but here we're going to do this.
You got it.
What did you say, Yo Adrian?
Yo Adrian!
Yo Adrian, let's talk about Dante Scarnecchia, the GOAT. Talking about Adrian Clem, here's what he said. You've got a run block, you've got a pass block. The technique you want to teach that along with that, that's what you're going to do. I've seen Adrian coach before, very demanding with his players, very tough-minded with them. I saw him at UCLA and was very impressed. He's an ABC guy. Step with this foot, get a hat there, get our hands there. I don't think much changes from college to pro. Yo Adrian!
Yo, Adrian Clem, he will become the offensive line coach. What's interesting is you see Adrian Clem coming in from Oregon. He's going to be a well-paid assistant for the Patriots. So that, to me, shows a Patriots team that's doing kind of what they did after difficult seasons with players, where they would overcorrect or they'd get right after it with a Wes Welker and a Randy Moss. Well, this year they're doing it with the coaching staff. Bill O'Brien, Adrian Clem, very aggressive. Adrian Clem, I think, is going to make a big difference. And I don't think Billy Yates, who was the offensive line coach ostensibly last year, is going anywhere. So players like Mike Onwenu, who've never had the same offensive line coach, they should now profit by the emergence of not one but two dedicated line coaches in 2023.
They're making the right moves. They had big swings, brought in the big fish, and now let's fill it out and take over this AFC East. I want to, Legarrette Blount, he's won a couple Super Bowls, scored a bunch of touchdowns for these Patriots, and he was talking about Ramondre Stevenson and whether or not he is going to get paid.
I would say first and foremost, man, I hope he has an agent that is going to go to the bat for him and an agent that is going to stand tall in the paint and do what they have to do to get this done, right? With that being said, we all know that New England isn't too keen to playing running backs. They've let a lot of great running backs go. If he's going to get the big bag that the premier running backs are getting, he'll probably have to go to another team.
Here's what's fascinating about this. The Patriots are well on their way to having Damian Harris be a very good player for them. Scored 15 touchdowns in 2021. He's going to be out the door as a free agent. Is Ramondre Stevenson going to follow the same track? He's only through 2 years. Next year, again, the Patriots will probably have him close to 300 touches, over 250. They'll rely on him. Players like that end up getting about $10 million a year, Kay. Are the Patriots going to ante up for that or say, look, you were a fourth-round pick. We'll find another fourth-round pick to give us the same production?
They always seem to do that. Running backs is an unfortunate thing, and I love them. But the market, the depth, the wear and tear on them, it's just not there. We'll see what they do. Hey, you've gotten really good at this.
You're better than I am continually.
No, not at all. You've gotten really good at this. You're spitting out numbers. I don't know where they're coming from. You got rushing yard numbers?
They're right.
You got yards per carry. Who's your agent? All right, we're going to call Don Yee, and we're going to fix this thing. Kevin Miller, we're coming for you. How about this? Legarrette Blount, who avoided me today.
Why?
I don't know. I saw him. Couldn't hold him. I love Legarrette Blount. He also talked about Mac Jones.
You didn't wave the tequila at him.
You're right.
Mac had his Pro Bowl year with Josh, right? Got Matty P, had a down year. But he has Billy O coming, right? A great offensive mind, successful offensive mind, has been successful in the New England Patriots scheme and organization. I think if he don't turn the corner and get over that hump this year, I think you got to go in a different direction.
I love this. I love the fact that we're getting folks now on the record. What does Mac have to do? Talk to Peter King, talk to Mike Florio. Peter King said you got to give him 2 consecutive years to show with Bill O'Brien what he's all about. But really, the clock is somewhat ticking on Mac Jones having a productive 2023. He has to be big for the New England Patriots to ensure his future here. You really think I'm doing good?
You're doing great. I want to hear the poll question. Let's go.
Okay.
Hit that poll, baby. Think of your tweets.
The poll was this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go, from the stands. Ow. In the end, was Tom Brady's departure the best case scenario for all parties on the field and off? 51%, I'm surprised by this. 51% said, no, never should have gone. I thought the 23% would be the number one answer, that it was better for everyone, Patriots included. And then 26% came in second place with I remain conflicted. So what are the people saying?
Katie says it was good for Brady and bad for the Pats and bad for me, psychologically and emotionally. Although weirdly,
sorry, Katie,
that doesn't seem to be part of the question. Love you, Katie. Jake says conflicted. They will always be the best QB-HC duo ever, but Tom needed to be Tom without Bill, and Bill needed to be Bill without Tom. It wasn't an amicable split, but their time apart has made us all appreciate how hard achieving greatness is, and that's something, right? That's a well-rounded answer.
We understand
like
that.
And last one here, I say no. Bill never thought a quarterback could be at that level at that age and started phasing Brady out too early. Hard to blame him, but that it was a big mistake. Second, the future is no brighter. Then had Brady retired here, as Mac is still very unknown thanks to bad offensive coaching. Ooh.
To me, and I'll get into this more later, it almost had to end for a variety of reasons. And I'll detail them in a second or two. But right now,
Brady ain't Brady without Belichick. There, I said it.
Okay, you know what? Where are you from? It's time for Ask Kay, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Check out this video from earlier today.
Oh, boy.
We have our own 818 beverage. We have a menu. We've got Connor the bartender. Tell me what we're making.
All right, so today we're going to be making a desert citrus margarita.
Let me tell you what's in it while you make it. It's 818 tequila reposado, which is delicious. Premium orange liqueur, fresh lime juice, and fresh OJ. That seems pretty simple. We are so grateful to 818 for being a part of our show and our fun. Anybody want tequila for breakfast? Come on over here.
Yeah, that's about 7:41 in the morning. She's trying to pull that off too, 7:41 in the morning.
It worked. I got Mark Andrews. I got all sorts of guys stopping by. Not Legarrette Blount, though, of course.
We didn't throw out the same level of cheese for the rats to come and get. Kay, what are the 3 keys to the Super Bowl?
3? Oh, gosh.
Just give me 3. Your 3 big things.
I'll say this. You know, I had Hall of Famer Anthony Munoz, who took the cheese and came on the show and hung out with me. And that's a Hall of Famer saying all that matters is who is the better offensive line. Gives it to the Eagles. That easy. How can you account for that? You got Patrick Mahomes. Surely he's an X factor. Patrick Mahomes on one leg versus Jalen Hurts the shoulder. I'm going to say, I really don't care who wins. It's going to be a great game. I will say, for the sake of rooting for a dynasty, I'm going to give it to Patrick Mahomes, who's a bit of an X factor. The key is who steps up. Sure, you got Travis Kelce. You lose all your receivers. McCall Hardman isn't even suiting up in this thing. Who's that guy going to be? And then Andy Reid. You eat a cheeseburger.
I am with Anthony Munoz. This is all the offensive line, if you ask me. Coming up after the break, we'll go a little bit deeper on the Brady-Belichick conversation. What exactly should we be taking away from the relationship and the warmth and fuzziness of it? Stay tuned.
Where are my blue-colored M&Ms? That's all.
Growth Potential, brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lepresti. Look younger, feel younger, get your hair back with Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback who does show up in the playoffs, but he has a lot of room to grow in the Super Bowl. He's got a 115 passer rating in the first 3 rounds combined, but in the Super Bowl, just 57% of his passes are being completed, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a passer rating of 64.2. The Bucs got after him. Tom Brady's Bucs got after him. Here's Tom Brady from the Let's Go podcast on My Slant.
In my view, it was just people always trying to pull us apart. And I don't think we ever even felt that with each other. We never were trying to pull each other apart. We actually were always trying to go in the same direction. And I think when we were in New England for 20 years together, you know, they get tired of writing the same story. So, you know, once they write all the nice things and championships and this, and then they just start going, well, this works. Let's start trying to divide them. I never really appreciated those, you know, ways that people would try to do that.
Wait, so that was us? So it was us? Let's not delude ourselves, okay? Tom Brady finished his career in Tampa Bay because of irreconcilable differences with Bill Belichick. They were at cross purposes. Brady wanted a contract that would allow him to finish his career here. Belichick wanted to go year to year. Those two things were going to be mutually exclusive between the two guys. Brady didn't want to have a situation where he had to uproot. Belichick didn't want to make sure that Brady had this interminable amount of time where he could start to decline. So, in the end, there was a parting. Doesn't mean that the love and the appreciation wasn't still there, buried under the angst, but we can't just pretend that the angst didn't lead to the split. Consider this for a second. Just play with me. Tom Brady's parents had authority over conscious Tom from about age 4 to age 18, 15 years. Belichick was Brady's authority figure from 2000 to 2019. That's 20 years, and never in the same tender way a parent was. Of all Robert Kraft's accomplishments as Patriots owner, the one thing that I would say he's actually most proud of is that he kept Brady and Belichick together. That might be the one that he really looks at and says he values. In the end, Brady had to go for myriad reasons, and that's where you find the Patriots and Brady and Belichick benefiting. The Patriots had a reboot. The Patriots go and get Mac Jones. Brady goes to Tampa Bay and gets to chase a ring that he wouldn't have chased as a New England Patriot. And in the end, that separation allows them to have, well, the mutual appreciation that we saw on Monday. I don't know if it was Albert Schweitzer or it was Sting who said, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, it was yours all along. If it doesn't, it never was. Tom Brady is back. We don't have to forget the fact that there was some angst, though. Tom, don't whitewash it. It's an historic coupling that you and Bill had. We want to know everything that went into it so we can properly recite your accomplishments. All right, well, full screen's in. Yes, indeedy. And let me see. Eagles are 1.5-point favorites on Sunday. You got Mahomes is over 295 passing yards. Here's some of the plays that you can look at making on Sunday. To me, it's an Eagles game. It's the Eagles game to take control of, as Anthony Munoz told Kay. What we saw in the divisional playoff round against the Giants was an absolutely dominant Eagles running game. And to me, if you have that kind of dominant running game against a team like Patrick Mahomes, you have the opportunity to keep him on the sidelines. And you also have guys like Hassan Reddick who can absolutely bring the thunder and create the pressure that will have Mahomes scooting around. All right, coming up after the break, Mike Florio and I, we will go deep on so many issues facing the Patriots in 2023. Stay tuned.
I think I know why he's being equivocal. Because Bill O'Brien's going to have a large voice, I think, in what they ultimately do at quarterback. He understands. His experiment blew up. The Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, Frankenstein monster approach to offense didn't work. So now Bill O'Brien comes back in on a white horse. And I think what Bill O'Brien thinks of Mac Jones is going to go a long way toward determining what Bill Belichick thinks of Mac Jones. Because Bill Belichick thought Mac Jones is good enough that I can take a guy who's never been an offensive coach and let him run the offense. I can take a special teams coach and make him the quarterback's coach. And I'm sure you've heard the same things I have. Like when the talk around the building was Joe Judge is coming back, they just assumed it was in special teams. Quarterback's coach, what are you talking about? Quarterback's coach? Are you crazy? So I think there's some humility in the Bill O'Brien return. And I think there's humility in that response because I think he's going to rely on Bill O'Brien to help him make his decision about quarterback.
Do you think in any way this sullies Bill Belichick, or does it give a new chapter of, hey, he understood something, he fixed something? Where is Bill in the nation's opinion right now? Obviously, he's the greatest coach of all time. We could debate that if you want to.
Well, no, I think he is, and I think he can do both. I think it sullies and strengthens because those 6 Super Bowl wins gives him a big pile of chips, right? He's at the high rollers table with chips stacked up so high you can barely see the top of his head. So this year he played some of them. What the hell? I got all these chips. Right. I'm going to play some of them. And he played some of them and he lost. And he lost maybe more than he thought. And he realized I better win some of them back. So how do I keep, before I win them back, how do I keep from continuing to lose my chips? So I think there is, even though that facade that baked in Naval Academy, show nothing of
Stoicism,
yourself,
yep.
do nothing because they're always looking for anything. They're always trying to read you. That just kind of flatline. There is humility in that. He knows it can't be Matt Patricia and Joe Judge again. We got to get Billy O back. We got to do it. Even if it was him coming to that conclusion on his own or getting a nudge from above. What if he got a nudge from above and said, screw you, I'm going to do it my way. I got all these chips. I mean, either way, he concluded on his own, he needs to change, or he submitted to somebody above him that maybe in the past he wouldn't have submitted to. Either way, it's a sign of progress for him. And it's a necessity because hot seat's coming. If this continues, if you just keep recklessly doing these things.
It's warm already.
Yeah.
It's warm.
Well,
but I'm saying it's not
coming.
as cool as it was.
You don't have 10 years of mediocrity. You just the NFL doesn't work that way. They don't care how many you've won. It's not what have you done for me lately. It's what are you doing for me right now, and what are you going to do for me tomorrow?
What are the
and
decisions
it hasn't been good.
that led to us being where we are? And I think that there's being local and in the weeds with them, there's more things that we scrutinize as to, well, they did that wrong, and Bill shouldn't have done that. And then there's Malcolm Butler, and what about a Brady successor? And shouldn't he have thought this? All of those things, kind of this airing of grievances. But what's fascinating is that you have, since Brady left, 7-9 with a quarterback who couldn't throw, 10-7 with a quarterback in his first year, and now 8-9 with, as you said, a Frankenstein monster that was short-circuiting on the sideline, and they still went 8-9. So to me, do the Patriots still remain as compelling a story in the NFL, even though mediocrity reigns? And they're off, honestly, guys, their product is tough to watch, but they're still compelling.
Well, they're compelling because of Bill Belichick. They're compelling because he's still there. And there will come a time when he's not there, and they may just be one of these also-ran teams that we don't really care about.
I don't think they're going to keep their national brand the way Dallas and Oakland.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think they will.
For much more with myself, Mike Florio, Peter King, Legarrette Blount, Thomas Dimitroff, check out Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast, and also Phil Perry and his Next Pats podcast. Coming straight ahead, early edition. Thanks for joining us.